Hey guys, AirsoftAl here, and today I'll be doing a reaction video to, and this is my first reaction video, mind you, and I have to say that this will be actually kind of fun because I know the guy who actually does these videos, and I love this guy. His name is Mr. NJ4K, not just for kids. Raven Evermore. He's a plucky Brit. I love him to death. I actually do like his videos. I love his work. And what we're going to be doing now is what I'm going to be doing is reacting to his video. The first review I ever saw of his, which was War of the Worlds, or the History Channel's adaptation of the War of the Worlds into a World War I styled steampunk type thing, which you're seeing right now. But you know what? Enough of my gabbing. Let's go ahead and get into it. The original video will be in the description below, but first I have to check and see if we're still recording. Are we recording? Yes, we are. Okay, so let's get into it.
We were fighting monsters.
Oh wow, that's...
There was life beyond our planet. It went completely against everything I've been raised to believe.
Well, that kind of damn, that is good.
The carpet sticking out of the earth like a half-closed eye.
Damn. Oh, that is cool.
No one had ever fought a war remotely like this one before.
An
Oh,
entire
shit.
generation of young men, all of them vanished.
I'll never stop hating them for what they did.
I think nobody will. I mean, if the Martians invaded, yeah, I'd probably hate them too.
Terror has always been a thing of the mind, and few stories have inspired so much terror than H.G.Wells' The War of the Worlds. On Halloween night, Orson Welles broadcast his tale of an alien invasion on the airwaves and panicked America. And ever since that fateful night of 1935, our innermost fears have been marked by the pen of one man who dared to imagine the true terror.
I've actually heard the broadcast, and I'll say this now, that actually did kind of scare the shit out of me, even to this day. Even though I know it's a fake, it still scares the shit out of me.
In its 31 days of terror, as it is much a part of our Halloween tradition as the popular invader in our living rooms, the resident of the pumpkin patch.
Yes.
And in 2013, History Channel made that possibility one step closer to reality with their mock documentary, The Great Martian War. In 1914, a strange explosion rocks the Black Forest, spreading the belief that the Germans, already on the path to war, have developed some kind of super weapon. But the truth turns out to be much more earth-shattering, as the entire German army is wiped out by an alien force, with Germany sending out a message to the world asking for military aid. This marks the beginning of the Great Martian War.
And it's not the French. That's what's funny. It's not the French that are doing it.
A grandfather who fought in the war, and the documentary goes on the hunt to decipher the meanings behind the Martian language that is hidden in the soldier's diary. Back in 1913, the planet's first intergalactic war rages on. And within weeks, all of Europe is in this
that is...
A large mass of land between Denmark, Italy, and through most of Germany becomes a massive no-man's land, dominated by the superior forces of an alien menace. Armed to the teeth with alien weaponry carried by large tripod iron giants and flanked by smaller, more nimble spider-like tripods, they hold up half of humanity in a bloody standoff that costs the human race an entire generation in blood and sacrifice. Meanwhile, America, untouched by the war, elects to provide armaments to the European forces, but otherwise remains out of the war until they themselves are dragged in. By accident or conspiratorial design, we may never know. But even this is not enough to drive back the alien invasion, as the full truth of the stalemate is eventually realized. That the aliens themselves have taken on the nature of a Wendigo, a consumer, the eater who would devour all, and the stalemate is serving their needs more than adequately. Using the war in a method not ever before.
I have to agree, that's... I actually saw this documentary when it first came out, which was amazing, and watching it a second time, I still loved it.
What-if story presented by the History Channel, and And it doesn't just
No,
talk
not
about the war
fantastic,
itself.
amazing,
It goes further on into
Mr.
the
NJ4K.
future and about the long-lasting implications of the war, and if it is ever truly over.
Yes!
The nature of the Martians themselves comes as quite a horrifying revelation. And I won't give that
Ew.
spoiler away here, but it does make you think on a
I didn't
more
really
alien
picture him
level.
to be like that, but
It is a well-researched combination
more like
of fact and
it-
fiction,
that-
and the actors and historians themselves have put up a convincing front as they tell their tales from a young historian's perspective to those who both witnessed and fought in the war itself. And I don't know, as terrifying as this tale is, I'm not sure who's scarier, the Martians or Alice Hale here. Man, she hates the Martians so much you can feel the hate curdling from the milk in my tea from here. But the scariest moment of the film comes
Try
from
my
the
Mountain
lights.
Dew!
Those metallic machines that come during the night to harvest from the battleground, God knows what. And when we find out, and it's not what you expect, it's twice as horrifying as anything the novel which inspired this film ever imagined.
And I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil what the lice do.
Fields are moving beyond the wire. The mere thought of them, of what they're doing to our dead and wounded, fills every living man with dread.
The men called them lice, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
We could hear the noise from the lice coming behind us and cleaning out the ditches for their harvest.
The men at the front believe the vile purpose of the night-prowling herds of lice is to harvest the dead.
Dawn breaks. The lice retreat like a black tide, and everything is gone. Every shell, every last shard of battle, and every one of our dead, my fallen brothers, are taken. Their bodies stolen. For food? For fuel? We hardly dare imagine why. But this is why those devils are here. They came. For us.
We'll be taking a long look at this mock documentary next year, but for now, if you can find this, I recommend it highly. The footage used and compiled with special effects are almost seamless. The machines are epic and terrifying in scope, and the lice will haunt your nightmares for nights to come. Watch the skies, ladies and gentlemen.
And thanks to doing this, it'll haunt him again.
Fear the stars above them.
Yeah. Which, I'll say this now, guys. I'll say this now. Definitely check out Mr. NJ4K's channel. Link is in the description below to the original video if you want to watch it by yourself. But as for the documentary, I recommend you try and find the documentary because, oh my god, it is well worth the watch. I personally watched it and I'll tell you now, it scared me shitless second time ago, and I bet you third time around it's still going to scare me shitless. Now, being a hardcore H.G.Wells fan myself, I love it because it is a perfect, accurate documentation of the Martians and the war with the Martians. And I hate to say it, but it actually does do better than the book. And even he said in his own word of, that, I mean, just to be fair, sorry, I had to do something. But just to be fair, I love NJ4K. He's an amazing guy. Check out his channel. Give him a lot of likes, because this guy is pretty cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. I've been AirsoftAl, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!
The summer sun is